can hit here, you can hit.
Oh, wow. Every day, 2 weeks.
We got the opportunity to train at the UFC Performance Institute in Las Vegas, Nevada with MMA legends Forrest, Griffin, and Sanko. Sanko competed in Invicta Fighting Championships and is now currently working as a UFC broadcaster. She's also the first woman ever to be able to be on the sidelines to call a fight live. The first ever winner of the Ultimate Fighter, where he had his legendary fight against Stefan Bonner where he won by unanimous decision. He went on to have an illustrious Hall of Fame career in the UFC, finishing with a record 19 wins, 7 losses.
So we're relaxed here, break the egg on contact, right? Does that make sense? And the reason is because we're not wearing wraps, so we want to protect the small bones and ligaments of our hand. Now, if you're just tight the whole time, one, you're slow. Two, over time your hands are going to release, and then what you think is tight is no longer tight, and you're going to break your hand. So you relax, boom. And again, just real quick, the proper way to make a fist right here, there are not other ways. Everything, usually there's like multiple ways to do things. This, there's only this. You can hit here, you can hit here, you can hit here, you can hit here. That's all fine, but just make your fist correct for me.
See some, bro. See some, bro.
All right, Forrest, want me to run through, we're gonna talk about our stance a little bit. What's the important thing is about your stance is you just want your feet about a width apart. You don't want them wider. You definitely don't want them to be more narrow unless you're Wonder Boy. That's a whole other thing. We're gonna go over like just a very basic neutral stance. So about a shoulder width apart, and then basically just take a nice normal size step back. We're gonna keep our weight, like look in the mirror at yourself. Want your weight distributed in the middle. There's a million different mixed martial arts stances. Guys that like to lean over their front foot like Izzy does, where you can kind of like manipulate. He presents his head closer so that he can draw at a range without actually moving his feet. But in general, today, we just want a nice, neutral, middle of the road stance where we're good and balanced so that we can really twist into our punches. Because at the end of the day, the punch is not really coming from your arm. It's coming from your hips and your torso and everything that you're putting into it. So obviously, like Forrest said, nice and balanced, touch your legs. One of the things that gives people away, like when I'm watching contender series footage, if they don't have the best conditioning, is usually when they fight pretty overly upright. Like some guys like this style at an advanced level, but in general, if you're an early stage guy and you're fighting like this, that tells me that you don't really know what you're doing, right? And that your conditioning is not such, because you have to be able to have a good balanced athletic stance for a long period of time. For a jab, obviously it's your lead hand, so the foot that's in front is the shoulder that's in front, and you want to, like Forrest said, keep that egg nice and loose until you make contact with the bag. And I think the biggest thing that people, when they're learning to punch, you want to think about rotating this shoulder back and making sure that these knuckles are down. Because again, the punch is not coming from your arm, it's coming from the rotation of your body.
On my jab, I might step, and then I'll usually pivot on my cross. Some people have step. I've never done it that way before. And then the cross. So again, go back to this home position. Bang. Not bad. All right, let's warm up real quick. Meet me here, let's go.
Let's go.
Shoulder up here. It should be in the T. Not whatever this is. T. So I want to come all the way up, right? So if you're throwing a hook, I want you to think here. So you throw this hook, and then I'm going to roll under. 6+1. Everything else is kind of a variation of those. And then in boxing, there's 2 target areas, head and body. So my man here, stance, don't do anything. So straight punches, hooks, uppercuts, and then you can go on a 45 or an overhand. But the idea is just straight hook, uppercut, right? Now I've got two target areas, straight or straight, hook or hook, uppercut or uppercut. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's all there is. There's literally all there is. The movement for your rear leg, if you want to throw anything power, is just this pivot. So it's your body here, your body here. Nothing really changes with that leg. Maybe like slightly, but for the most part, boom. You know, those are my two big punches from the uppercut and the straight. Go jab, cross, uppercut, straight. All with the rear hand. Does that make sense?
Nice. Back foot, get that power. Hell yeah.
See this, right? So ideally I would knock his head back and then I would take the chin off. Makes sense? So jab, I get him to kind of look down, uppercut, hook. So lift it up, knock it off. So bang, bang, bang. And then reset. So on bang, 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 I want to step out a little bit, right? Like as if the bag were to punch you back. Work time. Come on. Bang, bang. That's beautiful.
Nice, Jim. Let's go. Wait for
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I like that. 2, 1.
It feels better standing like this.
I actually got a little played around with the wheel a couple times.
Oh yeah?
So it's such a bad.
midway through training, how you feeling?
I ran a mile every day for 2 weeks. This still don't matter.
Go ahead. That looks really good, right? So from here up, that's perfect. Now if you want to make it a little better, because you're already good, but you want to make it better,
Flare out more with my
just the weight, but like it's on there, like, right? If I'm throwing the left hook, I'm gonna put 60 to 70% of my weight on this leg, because that's the only one I'm not power there. Right hook, same thing. I'm gonna start the weight here, and I'm gonna bring it up and over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That big jab. When you jab, what are you thinking with your feet when you jab? Like that? Do you ever think about pushing off the back? So as if your jab, actually, the power from the jab is actually coming from this foot. So as if you're pushing off that foot. Think about it.
He's like, I still should.
Now, you're gonna go with that push off, and then you're gonna twist. And then you're gonna kill it with that cross. And now go ahead and give me a 3 behind that. You might even take that half a step back. Towards the distance with your jab. Alright? Speed no power.
Let's go, G.
After you throw that, you kind of throw them back to the liver, and you come back to the head with the hook. There we go. No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So if I can't beat him up, I can outrun him. Now, I can't fight or run for shit, so I got right here to please. Peace. 12!
Yeah.
First time doing it. All right, if you're walking out here, come on, go quick. In here, everybody grab a panel, that's your panel, don't trip over each other. Now we're gonna listen to me. It's like follow the leader. Guess what, I'm the leader. So in your fight stance, and we're moving to a left. Let's go. Quality, stop, to the right.
Oh, Jim was ready for
Stop,
that.
forward. Back. Come on, to your right. Stop. Jab, cross, hook, cross. To the right. Stop. Jab, cross, hook, cross. To the left. Step. To your left. To your left. Forward. Jab, cross, hook, cross, fall back. Right.
Thank you. That was fun.
Yeah, I mean, we got another 18 minutes.
Oh, not me.
Okay.
You want to roll? Running?
You're just there.
I'm not good, but that's my favorite discipline.
Really?
Yeah.
It used to be mine too. Now
It's probably because it's so new to me. Only blue belt.
as I started fighting, it became like less.
Yeah.
Like, more like I really like I want to get kickboxing when I grow up.
Yeah. I started out in boxing and then I got into jiu-jitsu after that. And then kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah, I started like kind of everything at the same time.
My uncle owns that Taekwondo, and I really was going down there.
Yeah.
He owns one out there. I haven't been on there. We content YouTube stuff.
Do you know Eric Paulson?
Yeah.
I train in his gym.
Oh, I know Eric well. How much is this up?
What's your favorite company? So how do you including I like this. So it's the body and then it's top with the kick. Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's my favorite.
Yeah, Mark Beecher special.
My favorite. I love that.
Mark, everybody from his gym would do that. I would do it. Everybody would do it.
It just it implements like a little bit of everything.
For me, like my thing is just like I'm playing southpaw.
Yeah. And you're trying to like tough man, you cut to the side.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, I wish I would have worked more on the forward. And even forward, honestly, just from playing southpaw. Like, seriously, I had like just from years of like, trying not to get beat off the dribble. It was like.